welcome to the live stream. I love going to really cool websites, and I have two websites open right now: the Central Intelligence Agency website, and then I also have the NASA website, which the NASA website is one of my favorite websites. And we can start with the Central Intelligence Agency website, which is really cool. I know a lot of people um, have a perception about what the CIA does because of movies and television and books. And I must say that they've definitely given an accurate depiction in a lot of TV shows. And then in other TV shows, not so accurate. Um, I think Covert Affairs is a really good series about the CIA. And it's more, or maybe it's really not accurate because when you think about it, we don't really know what the CIA does, right? I mean, the TV series that portray the CIA as like constant, there's always explosions and action and fight scenes and everything. And then there's other TV series that portray the CIA as like very mundane, like a lot of more office work, and they just kind of sit in the office usually most of the time, and there's not really many. It's not like James Bond, But we don't really know for sure what goes on in the CIA. Like, we have no clue what the CIA does. There's really no transparency. So, I mean, how can I turn around and say, well, oh, those TV series that portray the CIA as James Bond and da da da. I mean, that could very well be true. And, the narrative where they try to say, oh, the CIA is not like James Bond, it's more like in the office and it's boring and they do paperwork, that could be false. Maybe that's not really the CIA. So we really don't know. I was about to say, yeah, those TV series that make the CIA look like James Bond and there's action and all that fight scenes and everything. That's probably not as so realistic as, for example, Covert Affairs, where they're like more in an office and it's more like it's not as much action. Like, there's still action, but like not as much. It's more boring. But really, we don't really know. Like, the CIA could be a bunch of space aliens at this point. Like, we really have no clue, the American people. I mean, the CIA keeps all of these secrets from the American people. The CIA doesn't tell the American people anything, really. So we have to use our imaginations when it comes to what goes on there in the CIA. I mean, it could be a boardroom full of North Koreans and Russians for all we know, the CIA. Like, we have no idea what they do behind those closed doors, the CIA, right? So we can't speculate. We can't go sit here and say, "Oh, the CIA does this or the CIA does that." I know Hollywood loves to make the CIA look bad. I mean, if you watch those TV series, a lot of them, for example, Homeland. Oh my God, Homeland. I know they made fun of it on Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live did a lot of sketches on Homeland where, the lead CIA agent or whatever, she's like crazy, right? And that's terrible because, well, I mean, it's terrible for national security to have someone who's out of their mind, right? Like, just randomly accusing countries of things they never did. That's pretty crazy. But what's more crazy, actually, really, is how Hollywood has a disgust and like a hatred for the CIA. And I was thinking to myself, what if Hollywood, it's like there's two factions. It's like there's Hollywood, who literally Hollywood, they're always making the CIA look bad, look incompetent. They're making the FBI look incompetent. They're making the FBI look stupid to Hollywood. The Hollywood people really don't like the CIA and the FBI. And the Hollywood, when you think about it, they have some heavy hitters in Hollywood. Like, for example, Britney Spears is powerful for how much money she has. Britney Spears is, and for how much influence, right? If, let's say, for example, I'll give you a perfect example and you'll see where my point is. Tomorrow, Britney Spears goes on television and says, "Hey everyone, you should check out this product." What does everyone do, right? Let's say tomorrow a CIA agent goes on to TV and says, "Hey everyone, you should check out this product." I think it's safe to say that a lot of people will probably gravitate towards Britney Spears just for how much influence and power she has. She has the power of suggestion and influence when Britney Spears can go on television and people she commands the respect. Britney Spears commands the respect of the world while a CIA agent could go on the same television and promote a different product or suggest something else. And would people as listen to the CIA agent as much as they would listen to Britney Spears? That's a lot of power Britney Spears has when you think about it. So Hollywood and the CIA is very powerful, right? In their own ways. Hollywood is very powerful and the CIA is very powerful, right? In fact, a lot of Hollywood movies look better than what we see from NASA. I mean, it's amazing how Hollywood can make movies that look so realistic as if they have inside knowledge about space that NASA doesn't even know about. You know what I mean? Um, Oh, we actually have people who join viewers. Oh, I normally don't get viewers, but that's great. That's wonderful. Thank you for coming. So yeah, so I had a really interesting thought about how Hollywood is like one faction, one side, and then it's like the FBI, the CIA is on the and the NSA is on the other side, right? And I really do feel like Hollywood does fight with the CIA a lot. They must be because if you watch those Hollywood shows that depict the CIA, they make CIA agents look like idiots. Like the Hollywood TV shows, like for example, Alias and Covert Affairs and Homeland and The Americans. Well, The Americans is actually about the FBI, but all of these and the diplomat's more about diplomacy, but all of these TV series, they portray FBI agents as incompetent, as corrupt, as stupid, as greedy, as traitors. And the same with the CIA. Like if you watch these TV series in Hollywood about the CIA, they portray the CIA, the Central Intelligence Agency, as stupid and corrupt and like terrible people, right? So there really must be like this big feud, a war almost. It's as if there's a war between Hollywood and the CIA and the FBI. And that would even be an interesting novel or a movie or a TV series. It's like Hollywood versus the CIA, Hollywood versus the FBI, right? Imagine Britney Spears, she has an issue with, let's say, the FBI, and Britney Spears suddenly has millions of like groupies and followers at her command who are basically like Britney Spears' army of people. But can the FBI and the CIA, as much as the FBI and the CIA has a lot of power, can they command like millions of fans so imagine like an actual war between like if it like in a movie form, like if this was like a funny comedy movie, I'm talking about a comedy movie, right? Imagine if it was like Hollywood versus the CIA versus the FBI, and you have like Britney Spears and Madonna and Ariana Grande on one side with like television actors like you know what I mean, or even reality stars. You have them all on one side, and then on the other side, you have like CIA agents and FBI agents, and it's like Britney Spears is like, and she's well, not just Britney Spears, other. Let's think about another. Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga. Lady Gaga would be funny if she was fighting the FBI or the CIA or whatever. But that would be a really interesting premise for like a novel, a book, a TV series. Hollywood versus the CIA, the FBI. And it's amazing because when you think about it, I'm sure that Hollywood stars like Lady Gaga and Madonna and who else? Kim Kardashian and Nicki Minaj. I'm sure that they're not exempt from being spied on from the CIA and the FBI. I'm sure the FBI spies on all those celebrities too, right? In fact, there was a theory put out there a few years ago that TMZ, and TMZ is like, TMZ, right? What they do, they get photos of celebrities. A lot of people had put theories out that at TMZ, that they actually have CIA agents, like that the CIA, like the TMZ is like a branch of the CIA that specifically spies on celebrities, right? And Hollywood. And it was an interesting theory because when you think about it, TMZ does a lot of like kind of spying on celebrities in Hollywood as if it is like a division of the CIA, right? Because, TMZ, essentially what TMZ does is they take a lot of pictures of celebrities and then they talk about celebrities, they kind of spy on celebrities and the lives of celebrities. So yeah, it is kind of like TMZ is like a branch of the CIA. So it was an interesting theory put out there. I'm not saying it's true. I don't know if it's true, but oh yes, I'm just gonna respond to Mr. Captain, the guy who made the comment. I do have a very open mind, and you're right. There's a lot of conspiracy theories out there, but I do think that in general, well, I wasn't talking about conspiracy theory. I was actually talking about it would be so funny if there was like a movie where it was like the Hollywood celebrities versus the FBI versus the CIA. And we kind of saw that a little bit, even with Britney Spears, because when Britney Spears was going through the legal troubles, the whole thing with the conservatorship, she was kind of in a battle between her and the police because the police were trying to, and the judge and the police were trying to control Britney Spears, and Britney Spears actually did use her fans. She complained about the conservatorship. Britney Spears complained about the conservator I can't say the word, sorry. It's conservatorship. Britney Spears complained about it to her fans, and the fans went crazy and they were like, free Britney, There was a whole movement. It was a movement called the Free Britney movement, where Britney's fans were trying to get her freed from the judge's conservatorship and what the police were doing to Britney. So in a way, there kind of was a little mini kind of like war between Hollywood and the police and the FBI and the CIA. So it's not far off, especially if it was a comedy movie. You know what? I'd really like to see this is gonna sound funny. Oh, oh, someone just yeah, okay, I'll check that out later. Someone wrote in a comment to check something out and I'll check it out later. That's great. But you know what's really funny? Um Someone one time said to me, they said, follow the money, right? And it's like, imagine all of the money trails in Hollywood. Imagine if someone tried, it could be a career, it could be like a real job. Follow the money, and someone actually tries to follow the money in Hollywood. Like, where would those money trails lead in Hollywood? Oh man, the money trails in Hollywood, here to there, what they spend their money on, like amazing. And they could do the same with the FBI and the CIA. Like, imagine if the Hollywood turned around and, for like just an example. I'm not saying that's happened, but let's say Rihanna, who's a famous singer. She's very talented, very beautiful, amazing singer. She's wonderful. I love Rihanna. I'm a big fan of Rihanna. It was really sad what happened to her with Chris Brown, but imagine if Rihanna, this is just like this is just as an example, right? If she was in the comedy movie about Hollywood versus the FBI and the CIA, and Rihanna was like, "Oh, you FBI agents think that you can spy on Rihanna? Well, now Rihanna is going to put private investigators on the FBI and the CIA to see the money trails. And then they start looking at the money trails at the CIA and the FBI and start seeing what the CIA has been spending their money on, which is another big like, wow, like look at those money trails, right? Imagine following the money trails of the Central Intelligence Agency. Amazing. So, Oh, look at this, the CIA and pop culture. Very relevant to what we're talking about between Hollywood versus the CIA. Oh, it's not clicking. Oh, there we go. Read more. The CIA and pop culture stories. How did you first hear about the Central Intelligence Agency? Was it in a TV show, movie, or novel? For many people, their introduction to the world of espionage, and CIA in particular, is through pop culture. It may surprise you that the real CIA has a long, entertaining history with its fictional counterparts. Wow, we were just talking about this. As one of the most secretive organizations in the world, the agency has inspired countless imaginative stories. We've even participated in the development of a few Hollywood blockbusters over the years. Oh, interesting. I always wondered that. I always wondered if the CIA did have a part to play in a lot of the Hollywood movies about the CIA, but I guess not all of them. Definitely not all of them because there are some Hollywood movies that make the CIA look like scumbags. So I don't think the CIA would make themselves look like scumbags, or maybe they would, or maybe they would. Maybe those were the movies that this maybe the CIA wants to be portrayed themselves as scumbags, right? Who knows? But here's a list of a few things you may not have known about the CIA's ties to popular culture. Facts can be more surprising than fiction. Wow. Look at that floor. I would love. Oh, does the CIA do tours? I would love to go on a tour of the CIA, but they probably wouldn't let me in because I'm Canadian. They'd be like, oh, "There's a Canadian. There's a Canadian in the American CIA intelligence agency. A Canadian in the Central Intelligence Agency." The alarms go off. Canadian on 4-3. Canadian on 4. They probably have like special codes for different like Canadian on floor 3, Russian on floor 6. It's like, and then who are they gonna chase? Are they gonna go after the Canadian or the Russian? That would be interesting. Well, like who's more of a priority, and if who are the Americans more like worried about? The Canadian in the building or the Russian in the building, or both? Then there's like this Iranian guy laughing in the corner and the Chinese guy laughing in the other corner. As what as the Canadian guy me is being chased by the CIA again. Oh wow, look at this. Cool. Oh no, sorry. That's I thought this was a comic at first. This isn't is this a comic book? Sorry, that's not a comic book, I don't think. I'm not sure what that is. That might actually be some sort of like instruction manual or something. I'm not sure. But I thought I'm not gonna say cool if it's like a like a manual. I'm not gonna say. But well, obviously the graphics are very well done. Abandoned Soviet ice station. Wow. These websites are so cool. I just want to say quickly before I end the live stream, if you are a YouTuber and you are looking for content, wow. Isn't it so fun to go to websites like the CIA website, the Central Intelligence Agency website? All you could go to the website, just look at it, read it, talk about it, discuss it. That's great YouTube content. So I want to encourage more YouTubers to consider doing that because it is fun. Like look how much fun I'm having looking through the CIA website, the Central Intelligence Agency website. And also, the NASA website is, of course, very, very cool. Wow. So, anyways, thank you so much for joining in today, everyone who did joined. I actually got a lot more viewers than normal. That's surprising, and I'm very appreciative for the viewers. And by the way, I also speak Russian, so I'm going to speak a little bit Russian now for my Russian audience. Um, Привет всем, добро пожаловать на мой канал. Приятно познакомиться, если я не знаю тебя, приятно познакомиться, мои друзья. И, между прочим, я хочу сказать, что мой любимый, мой совершенно любимый веб-сайт — это NASA веб-сайт, как выглядишь. Очень красивая, очень прекрасно, очень красивая, прекрасно, прикольно веб-сайт, как выглядишь. И я хочу сказать, что каждый день и ночь я стараюсь делать много интересных видео. Ам, YouTube не мой работа, это не мой работа, YouTube. Однако а, в моем свободное время мне нравится делать много интересных YouTube видеos. И еще раз, добро пожаловать на мой канал. И, пожалуйста, подпишись на мой канал, пожалуйста. And so I'll explain what I just said in Russian and English. I said basically, thank you, welcome to my channel. As you can see, my favorite, and by the way, my favorite website is the NASA website. It's so beautiful, it's cool, it's wonderful, it's cool, it's beautiful, as you can see. And I said, every day, I try to bring interesting videos on YouTube. I'm not a YouTuber like professionally. It's not my job, but on my spare time, off work, on my spare free time as a hobby, I like to make interesting YouTube videos. And then I asked the Russian viewers to please subscribe to my channel if they haven't. And then yeah. So that being said, I am going to end the live stream now. Thank everyone so much for coming. Please subscribe if you haven't. And I am going to bring very interesting videos with very interesting out there ideas. I love to just say what's ever on my mind and what I'm thinking, which could be great. And could be, we can come up with some really interesting, inventive, wonderful things together. I love inventors. Inventors are my idol. Nikola Tesla, Albert Einstein, Madame Curie, Stephen Hawking, Neil deGrasse Tyson, Charles Darwin. So many are my heroes. These people are even those other ones. Some of those other more recent inventors are definitely my heroes. And I appreciate everything that, look, like the phone I'm using right now was from an inventor. So I appreciate everything that inventors have done for the world. And so I just want to say thank you again to everyone who's come to my live stream. And I appreciate all the viewers. And I just want to make really interesting, cool videos. Like, look how cool the CIA website is. And I strongly recommend after this live stream that everyone go yourself and visit the CIA website, the Central Intelligence Agency website. Visit that website and also visit the NASA website, which is also, of course, my favorite website. All right, that's it for this live stream. Thank you so much, everyone, again for coming. Bye.